Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I know this is definitely weird and pretty cringy, truthfully, but it's whatever. We're going to make the best of it, and it's going to be fun and a pretty cool term, I think. I'm actually pretty excited to get to try out a lot of new teaching tools and get to play around with new ways to interact with you guys, and that's going to be really neat. So I wanted to do this short welcome video to, I guess, say welcome back firstly, and, sort of take a look at what we're going to be doing in the spring term and what the resources we have available look like right now. So I'm recording this through Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and hopefully this goes pretty seamlessly. So let's take a look at Canvas and let's see sort of where everything is and where you're going to be able to find all of your resources. So this is your currently unpublished page. This video will be sort of embedded right over here somewhere when we get everything going. So when you log in, once everything goes live, we're going to first see this main page. So here you're going to find basically everything you need, really. We're going to scroll down here. We have my contact information, which many of you have, or probably all of you have by now. And then if we look down here, we've got a link that will go to sign up sheet for our office hours. So I will be holding conference periods from 10 to 10:45 on Mondays, so the normal conference period time, and then also from 9 to 10 p.m. on Mondays also. So that's going to be all in Eastern time, so the local time for Andover. So if you are in a distant time zone, if you are overseas, for example, my hope is that 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern will be a pretty reasonable time of day for you, and that you'll be able to make it to at least one of those times. If you're not, or if you'd just like some extra help, or if you just have some other questions, or you just want to say hello, we can click over here and we'll have a sign up sheet for times for the week ahead. These will be posted every Monday, or updated every Monday, I should say. And you'll be able to, just like we've always done, fill in the time that works for you. So folks new to this group, this is something that is pretty typical when we're on campus. And so you can go ahead and just put your name in here, or whatever time it is that you want to meet. But then I just ask that you shoot me a quick email so that I know that you've scheduled a meeting, and then we can get you your Zoom link so that we can all be on the same page. If you're having trouble figuring out what the equivalent time is, I've also included a link here, which isn't working super well. There we go. So a link here to figure out, what your local time is relative to Eastern time. So we can use that tool also. So moving on, if you are wondering how to access conference periods, the meeting ID for the Zoom conference each day for each live conference period will be posted right here, and so you'll be able to access that each day. Everything else is pretty straightforward, really. We can open up our syllabus here, close out a couple of these tabs, open up our syllabus here, and we can scroll through and see what's going on. There's another link to that one-on-one appointment sign-up sheet should you need it. And then just, talking a little bit about course expectations. Not much is new here. It should all look pretty similar, really, but there's a couple of things that we've included for the uniqueness of this term. As always, it kind of boils down to, be honest, be excellent to each other, and, cite your sources, right? That's never optional. So let's go ahead and look through what else we've got here. You can find access to your CK12 over at this link if we click on textbook resources. And then our course calendar is linked right here. Of course, we don't need an embedded hyperlink for that, but it's there in case you have any trouble finding that. So you can find your entire course schedule as it's mapped out there. I'm going to try to have things scheduled and organized about 2 weeks in advance, maybe 3 weeks. But, you know, this situation's been changing by day and things are kind of wild. So we're going to have things at least 1 week in advance ready, but hoping for 2 to 3 weeks in advance for you to be able to access that way. Hey, Miss Finney, I'm wondering where I find my course materials. Hey, I'm glad you asked. Go ahead and click on any of these. This will bring you to, you guessed it, your modules tab. This is pretty empty at the moment, but this will all be populated with your video resources. So I'll record some lectures like what you're used to seeing in class. Those will be posted here. We'll have some video resources that will have sort of embedded questions in them that you'll be answering, and all kinds of stuff we'll be able to find organized by topic there. All of that is true of all of these topics here, except for term project. You do have a term project this spring, and that's going to be sort of your major assessment, if you will. So right now this is totally empty, but eventually this will have the details of that. This isn't going to be for a few weeks at least that we'll start talking about this, so more on that later. We'll go back here. So looking at this other stuff sort of category, if we open up this link and we say Q&A bulletin board, it's pretty much what it sounds like. This is going to be a discussion board where you can post your questions. You can help out your peers and answer some of their questions. I really, really encourage you to use this. This environment is going to be totally different than it was in person. And so interacting with your peers in this way, especially those who might be in other time zones. I know we have a lot of day students in this group, so a lot of us may be in the local time zone, but let's consider that, you know, this may not be true of all of our peers. And so this would be a really good place to sort of help each other out, ask questions of me, ask questions of each other, and keep some dialogues going that way. If we go down to research guides and resources, this is kind of being updated live. I'm still working on this, but here's where you can find a good amount of sheets. So, and it looks like my formatting's already goofed. That's okay. So there's some video resource channels that we'll be using, just some sort of quick links that you may need. Some things I want to point out here are under the tools to help you stay on track header. If you're a person who has trouble reading online, I know I am that type of person. I really just have trouble focusing and it doesn't feel super good for my brain. So I've included this tool called Beeline Reader. So this is a tool that will do a few different things for you. So it will sort of highlight text as you're reading through to kind of help you keep pace, but then it will also read things out loud to you. So if you're more of an auditory person, this could be really useful for you. And this doesn't have to just be for bio. I encourage you to utilize any of this for all of your classes this term and beyond if you find them useful. Quizlet, you guys know Quizlet. This is a link specifically to our courses Quizlet, which will be updated by me and hopefully you. I would love for us all to take part in editing this and sort of keeping a list of terms and a big group of terms and things that we can, you know, make sure that we know. And there's a password to edit that, so it's just Miss Finney Bio. There's also this other tool that I really liked. Go Conquer is really cool. That's more for like visual type learners. You can make mind maps, flashcards. There's a little planner application that's really neat. The marinara timer is the one that I really want to point out though. So marinara like sauce, which is I think really funny, and I think that's reason enough to mention it. But also, it's a tool that I used a lot as a student. The Pomodoro timer feature in particular, I find super, super useful. What this does is it chunks out your time, right? So I don't know about you, but this whole online thing and like being home and there's all these distractions and everything's, you know, there's a lot going on and it can be kind of hard to focus and to stay on top of things and stay productive. So what this does is it'll say, you set it to a chunk of time, maybe like 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And then you say, okay, after 15 minutes, I get a 5-minute break. or I get a 10-minute break, or whatever makes sense. And so you can make those choices for yourself with what works and what's going on at your home. But that's a really good way to sort of parse out your time and make the most of your schedule when things are kind of fluid and weird right now. Also, the Owl Guides the Owl Guides page is linked here as well, which we've used in the past for research projects. So moving on, we will have eventually a page for interactive labs and modules. Also, my cat has picked right now to start screaming. That's your TA for this term, Nano. He's a very noisy boy and will probably continue screaming throughout the rest of this video, so sorry about that. If we look, this page is under construction right now, so this will eventually have all sorts of simulations and virtual labs and all kinds of stuff for you to do. More on that later as things continue to be developed. We've looked at our syllabus here. We can also find that through the syllabus tool. Outcomes we're not using. You won't actually see that on your screen. If we go down to quizzes, right now I have just 3 placeholders in there now. These aren't currently filled out, but this term, your quizzes will be online, and you'll have one about every other week, I'd say, potentially more frequently, depending on what we're doing and what other types of assignments we're looking at. These are ungraded, so these are meant for your benefit. These are meant for your learning. You will be able to see the correct answers afterwards and ask questions of them. The expectation is that they will get done. So just because they're not graded, consider that part of your participation in this course, part of your ability to pass this course is that you will have participated in and completed the expected assignments. And so the quizzes are definitely one of those. Modules, again, is just where we'll find all of our resources once that's populated, and then pretty much nothing else we're going to be using. That's pretty much it for what's going to be going on in Canvas. More information to come as we start using things. I will aim to post about probably 1 to 2 videos, sort of just going over a topic probably per week, and those will be with the slides like you're used to seeing. We'll do something like this where I have a really cringy video of me in the corner talking, and then my PowerPoint will be on a shared screen. So probably something like that. But please, I encourage you to reach out to me anytime if there's any questions you have, or if there's any way that we can make this course work better for everyone. If you have any ideas about a cool tool that you've seen, or something that you would like to learn about. This is a really weird term, but it's also really exciting because we get a lot of opportunity to do things that we don't normally get to do. And we get an opportunity to play around with things that we don't get to normally play around with. And that's kind of neat. So I look forward to seeing you, those who, I'll be able to see in person. I hope to see all of you. I would love to see you all once a week. I think that would be really excellent. And, certainly, considering what individuals have going on at home and what other people's obligations look like, we can find times that make sense for everyone. But this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a totally new thing for a lot of us. So I ask of you for each other to, be kind and be empathetic and be patient. We're all sort of in this together. We're all learning this together, and, we're all going to get through this together too. So until next time, I will talk to you soon. And be good, wash your hands, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.